Good afternoon, everybody. I'm going to tell you about the separation of chiral molecules in metal-organic frameworks using molecular simulation. I'm from the University of Pablo de Olavide, and we are collaborating too with people, with groups from the University of Amsterdam, Northwestern, and Stuttgart. First, I will make an introduction about the chiral molecules that we are using and why are we using them. Next, I will explain the methods that we are using and the models for the structures and the molecules. I will show you the results and I will finish with the conclusion. Chiral molecules are mirror images that cannot be superimposed. Among the chiral molecules, we will focus on ibuprofen and lysine. Ibuprofen is a non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drug that acts by inhibition of the enzymes COX-1 and COX-2, but only the S isomer is able to do this. And lysine is an essential amino acid that the S isomer is present in all living beings, but the R isomer is just found in some bacteria. The difference in activities of these chiral molecules, of the enantiomers of these chiral molecules, make these molecules interesting from the pharmaceutical point of view. The aim of this work is separate chiral molecules in metal-organic frameworks using molecular simulation. We are using the Monte Carlo method in the Grand Canonical Ensemble. The Grand Canonical Ensemble, we can fix the volume, the temperature, and the chemical potential. And the chemical potential is directly related to the pressure through the fugacity coefficient. And in the Monte Carlo method, we choose molecules randomly and we apply several modes. These modes are translation and rotation of the molecule, total or partial regrowth of reinsertion of the molecule, insertion and or deletion, and identity change in mixtures. In our simulations, we consider structures and molecules. The structures are going to be rigid, and the molecules are flexible full atom models. And to define the intermolecular interactions, we consider the stretching, bending, torsion, van der Waals, and Coulombic interactions. And to define the interactions between molecules and between the structures and molecules, we consider van der Waals and Coulombic interactions. This slide shows This slide shows the representations of the molecules. On the left, the ibuprofen, and on the right, lysine. In red, there are the point charges, and the chiral atoms are in green. From the separation point of view, the most interesting differences between these molecules are that the ibuprofen has lower flexibility and is bulkier, and the lysine is shorter and is more flexible, more flexible and more linear. The structures that we are using are metal-organic frameworks, and we all know that metal-organic frameworks are made of metal centers and organic linkers that generate a three-dimensional network of channels and cases. And in particular, we will focus on three structures: MIL47, MIL53, and H1. MIL47 and MIL53 are very similar because they have the same organic linker, but they have different metal centers. In the first one is vanadium, and in the second one can be chromium, aluminium, or iron. But in this work, we are working with the chromium one. These structures are not chiral, but we want to compare with a chiral one. So we are using two H1. H1 has a complex chain as the organic linker, and cadmium as the metal center. These pictures are taken from our simulations, and the three structures are orthorhombic. If we have a look at the dimensions of the unit cell, we will see that the dimensions, the unit cell of the H1 is bigger than the others. The two first structures have straight channels, and the channel of MIL53 is narrower. And the H-MOF one is completely different because the channel is helicoidal, as we can see there. Okay. This is the computed absorption isotherm for S-ibuprofen at room temperature. It represents the absorption in moles per kilogram versus the flow density. And there are two regions, low and medium pressure, and at saturation pressure. At low pressure, the ibuprofen begins to absorb first in H-MOF 1 because the molecule commensurates the channel of the structure. Next, the molecule begins to absorb in MIL53 and then in MIL47. This difference is due to the aromatic ring of the ibuprofen because it fits better in the channel of MIL53. And at saturation pressure, the MIL structures achieve an absorption amount of 1.2 moles per kilogram and the H-MOF one of 1.6. If we convert this value to molecules per unit cell, the MIL structures have 1 molecule and the H-MOF one has 16. This difference in the absorption is explained based on the pore volume and the density. For the pore volume in MIL53 is 10% lower than in MIL47, and in MIL47 is 10% lower than in H-MOF 1, the density is the same in the MIL structures, but in H-MOF 1 is 15% lower. And here I want to compare the results for ibuprofen, the open symbol, and for L-lysine, the closed one. There are two effects, confinement effect and packing effect. The confinement effect, as we saw in the slide before, the molecule, the ibuprofen, begin to absorb at different pressures in the three structures. Comparing the beginning of the absorption between ibuprofen and S-lysine, there is a difference of more than 7 orders of magnitude. And in lysine, where there is no confined effect, the molecule begins to absorb in the three structures the same pressure. And the packing effect happens at saturation pressure. Packing doesn't have an effect in the absorption of ibuprofen, and the MIL structure achieve the same amount as saturation. But it is responsible of the difference in the absorption and saturation pressure of the lysine in the three structures. And if we compare the absorption of lysine and ibuprofen, the packing effect makes that the absorption of lysine is twice the absorption of ibuprofen. Well, I have already shown you the results for pure components, and now I'm going to show you the results for mixtures. And I'm going to explain this using this type of curve that is called a score. It represents the mole fraction in the back for a given component versus the mole fraction in the solvent phase for the same component. We can have three behaviors: the expected one, the black line, homoselectivity, the green line, and the selectivity, the red one. If we have the expected behavior, we will have the same mole fraction in the bulk as in the solvent phase. For example, if we have a mole fraction of 0.8, we will have a mole fraction of 0.8 in the solvent phase too. If we have homoselectivity, the mole fraction in the solvent phase will be higher, and if we have heteroselectivity, will be lower. And these results for the mixture are taken at saturation pressure. This is the score for ibuprofen. The results for MIL47 are in red, in blue for MIL53, and in green for H-MOF 1. The three structures show heteroselectivity, but the interesting point is here, in the racemic mixture. Because using molecular simulation, we can observe the effect of using a chiral structure in the separation of racemic mixtures of chiral molecules. As we can see, HMOF1 is able to separate ibuprofen. Comparing the separations of ibuprofen and lysine in MIR53, there is more heteroselectivity for ibuprofen, and this is due to the confinement effect. And if we compare the same molecules in MIR47, there is no selectivity for lysine, because the channel of MIR47 is wider than the channel in MIR53. And finally, comparing the separation of ibuprofen and lysine in HMOF1, the chiral structure, there is heteroselectivity, but lysine cannot be separated in the racemic mixtures. This is due to the confinement effect, because the molecule of lysine is more flexible, is more linear, and is shorter than the molecule of ibuprofen, and doesn't commensurate the channels of HMOF1 as well as ibuprofen can do. And in conclusion, first, to separate racemic mixtures, we need chiral molecules and molecules that could confine the channels and cases of these structures. And if we want to have heteroselectivity, we need or chiral molecules or chiral structures or non-chiral structures and molecules that could confine the channels and cases of the structure. And I have to say that this work has been possible with the support of the Spanish government and the help of the groups from the University of Amsterdam, Northwestern, and Stuttgart. And thank you very much for your kind attention.